Hey, what's going on, guys? So in today's video I'm going to be explaining the Incursion League. So Incursion League, just like Delve and Bestiary, is also part of the Master System, and it is represented by Alva. First time you can encounter the Incursion is in Act 7, and Incursion is one of the Master League mechanics that you actually can't force every single time into the map. Obviously you can use the Master missions, but there is no scarab for the Incursions, unfortunately. Which means that somehow you have to farm the missions if you want to farm a lot of the Alva, Incursions. So the best way to do that is through Lex Ajoris, because over here there is a 10% chance to grant an additional Alva mission. You can also use Crow's Allies and just run maps as fast as possible with the Watchstone. That also increases the chance to get Alva. Like for example this one, I have a Watchstone that increases the chance to be Yun, and you can get a roll up to 100% increased chance for any master mission. So if you get the one for Alva with 100%, that's 400%. With Secrets of the Stone you have 500% increased chance that the normal mission that you would get for completing the map will be Alva instead of just a random. Plus 10% here, plus 10% here. That's actually a pretty good chance to get the Alva mission, and on average you should get one every like 3 to 4 maps, which is actually pretty decent. So you can farm a lot of them in this area. Okay, so let me now show you the league mechanic. So let's go for small map, city square, let's not roll it, and use a Alva master mission. So inside of each mission you will find 3 incursions, always. Let me search for one. So here is the first one. An important thing to note, once you start talking to first Alva, the other two will kinda be blocked until you complete this one. So after you talk to her, you will be presented with map of Temple of Atzoatl. First, let me explain the room. So do not really worry about this part for now. So when you are gonna enter Incursion, you will be in this room, and there will be 2 architects and 4 doors around this room. And it is a timed encounter, so you will have like 10-15 seconds to be inside of this room, and the more monsters you kill, the more time you will get to be inside of that room. So most of the time it's around half a minute, maybe even more, depending on how many monsters is over there. Also, there are 2 different architects, and if you kill one of them, the second one will disappear. And depending on which one you will kill, something will happen to this room inside of the temple. So for example, this one will transfer this room into the Tormented Spirit room. If you kill this one, it would transform the room into the storage room. So depending on which one you want, you just kill one architect, and I would want this one because the storage is a better one. So these rooms you can see on this map, and this is the temple map, and after you complete in total 12 incursions, so I have 10 remaining, you will be able to enter that temple. And depending on which rooms you chose once during the incursion mechanic, these rooms you will have inside of those temples. So for example, after I complete the 12 incursions and I kill this architect here, I will have the storage room over here with some random items. Also, if you choose this item, then if you encounter this room again, you will be able to kill architect here and upgrade this room to the 2nd tier, or choose a different room. Like for example here I have a second tier room, and then again up to tier 3. So tier 3 is the highest possible tier of a room. Also here you can see the doors, and the monsters that you kill inside of the incursion have a chance to drop the key, and there will be always at least one key dropped. The only way to not get a key is if all of the doors are already locked, opened I mean. So if you drop a key, you can open one of these doors, so that later on in a temple you actually have these doors open. So for example, if I would enter the temple right now, I would be able to go into entrance, these rooms and all of these rooms, but there is no way from this room to this room, so I will not be able to enter that room. So it is a good idea when I am gonna enter this incursion to destroy this door, I mean open this door, so that when I am in a temple these rooms are actually connected. And also at the top of the temple there is always a boss room, and you can't actually upgrade that room. So let's enter this incursion right now. So I will focus first at killing the bottom part, because I want to kill the bottom architect. So here is here, and he's already dead. Now let's clear most of the monsters, and I dropped one key. And important thing to note, you can't take this key out of the incursion. So if I die, for example, or just leave, you would not be able to enter back this incursion, and the key would disappear. So I want to open this door, key disappeared, and I go out, and now I can check the map again. And now as you can see, this transforms into storage room, and there is a way over here. So now let's search for the second one. It's over here. Both of them are kind of bad rooms, but strongbox is better, so I will choose the strongbox. Let's go over here. And the key is at the top. Here it doesn't really matter which doors I open, so I don't really care that much about it. But there is only one, so I open this one. Every other one is already opened. And now let's go for the third one. So this time, as you can see, I got the room that is already a tier 1. So now if I kill this one, I will transform this room into the breach room. Or if I upgrade this one, or if I kill this one, this room will be upgraded to tier 2. So actually flame is not that great of a room, so I will change this room into the breach one. And as you could see, also by the way, you can press the league mechanic button once you are inside of an incursion. Also I just killed the top architect by accident, but it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, this room is not connected to pretty much anything, and I would probably want to connect it to all of these rooms, so I don't really care that much which door I will open. Later on I will probably get another option to get the way to these rooms, but I want this room to be connected to the main path, so I will click this one. Okay, so that's it, and the second incursion is completed. So as you can see now, there's only 7 remaining, so I would have to use at least 3 other missions. One with 3 alvas, second with another 3, and third one with just 1 of them. Let me look for the portal scroll. Okay, so now let me show you the temple. So after you complete 12 of them, you will be able to open a temple, or you will be able to actually create the item of that temple and open it later on or sell it. So here's one of those items, and as you can see here, there will be rooms presented that will be inside of that temple. So there is a defense workshop, hall of metal, engine, and so on. So let me open that temple. So here again, with pressing the button, you can see all of the rooms. And to be honest, there isn't really that many good rooms, and that temple is a pretty big map. So it is a good idea to only do the most important rooms. And also you can do a boss. Boss is not that important. It doesn't really drop that many good items, but still, if you have an option to kill it, I believe you should kill it. So over here, as you can see, there is no pathway to the boss, so I actually can't kill it. And in this temple, I would pretty much just do the Hall of Metal and Treasury chest. So let's do that. And after this one, I will show you on wiki page which rooms are good and which are not good, just so you know which one you should focus on. Okay, so here is the way to the right one, and I am inside of the corruption room. Yeah, I am in corruption room, and now I found the crafting recipe. So a lot of rooms actually in temple give you certain crafting recipe, so it's also a good idea to enter every room at least once, so you have all of the crafting recipes. Okay, so this Hall of Metal, so it actually has a legion inside of it. So let's kill legion monsters. So this legion is usually not as powerful as inside of the maps, because there is no like a map mods. You cannot make the temple yellow, so it will not have as much quantity. Okay, so Hall of Metal is completed. Now I would also go for the treasure and just leave, but to save some time in a video, I am not gonna do that right now. Okay, so now let's talk about the rooms. So here in a PoE wiki, which I will link at the bottom of the video, you can see all of the possible rooms and their names of tier 1, 2 and 3. So for example, guardhouse will give you monsters pack size inside of the temple. Workshop will give you quantity, and with more tiers it will give more quantity, but it will also give the boss at the end 15, 25 and 35 increased life. One of the more unique rooms is the explosive room, which will have 1, 2 and 3 depending on the tier explosive cakes, which you actually can use to open the doors. So for example, if I had inside of this temple the explosive room, let's say here, I would be able to enter it, get 1 keg, go all the way over here and destroy this wall to open the pathway to Apex of Atzoatl. So it is a good idea to choose explosive room if you know you messed up the pathway somehow. Okay, so let's go back to the rooms. Breach room is decent. It's not amazing, but if you don't have anything other that is good to choose, breach is decent. Vault is one of the better ones. You should, if you have a currency to choose, you should always, well, not always, but most of the time, try to get it. Sparring room is weapons room. It is not that great. Armor the same. Jewelry also not that great. Surveyor study will give you some maps, which is, in my opinion, as valuable as the currency room, maybe a little bit less. Gem cutter. So gem cutter is one of the best rooms you can get. So gem cutter workshop and department of thaumaturgy will give you just random gems, but if you get the tier 3, you will also get the like a crafting bench that will be able to upgrade 1 gem. I mean, not upgrade, corrupt a gem double. So normally when you use a valor on a gem, you can have an option to upgrade the level of it, upgrade the quality and so on. but if you use this crafting table, you will be able to corrupt it twice. So this way you can create the gems that has, for example, level 21 and 23 quality. Also, using this corrupting table is the only way to create Val gems. So if you use it, you can create level 21 and Val gem, or just Val gem and let's say downgrade to 19 if you are not unlucky or something. But yeah, it is one of the best rooms you can get. Next one is Torment, which will give you some Ghost, which is again not that great. Strongboxes, I would say strongboxes are the same as the Breach, maybe a little bit worse. Then Hall of Metal is, I would say, on the same level as Currency, it's also pretty nice. And this one is another unique room, which at the level 1 will give you the altar that will change unique into another one, so just a random unique. And level 2, as you can see here, it will give you the unique of the same class. So if you choose a belt, it will only give you a belt. So tier 1 will give you any unique if you just transform unique into any unique, which is pretty bad. Level 2 will give you just unique of the same class. And at the level 3, it will give you the same thing as the level 2, but also you will have an option to upgrade the items that you get from the temple with a vial that you can drop from the boss into the upgraded version. So I will talk about these items in a second. So it is also pretty good room, but if you don't have a unique to upgrade and vial, it is not that great. Although you can, if you are in trade league, you can just buy the uniques and vials and use this room to upgrade them and make some money. Here is the storage room, which is also the same pretty much as the currency room. You can get some just random chests, but to be honest, a lot of them are pretty good, so I actually really like this room. Next one, Altar of Corruption. So this is the, I would say, chase room. When people are doing this league mechanic, most of the time they are hunting for this room. So Altar of Corruption gives you the altar at the level 3. So tier 1, tier 2 doesn't give you anything, and tier 3 will give you altar which can corrupt the item twice. So there are 4 different outcomes. First one is change all of the sockets to white. Second one, again, corrupt the item twice. Third one, transfer it into rare or rare shaper or elder item, which is pretty much just destroying the item. And the last one is destroy the item. So if you get one of these options, you pretty much lost the item. If you get this one, you just got white sockets, and this one will give you double Value Pursuit. And also you can get Shadow Stitch if you are using Sacrificial Garb, which is a decent item. So this can be sold on TFT Discord. So if you go here, you have the expedition services. Actually, people no longer use it because some people probably use it, but you can just sell it as the temple. So if you go into the trade and name of the room is Locust of Corruption, so you type here Locust of Corruption, tier 3, Chronicle of Atsuato. As you can see here, it is worth 1.3 exalts. So if you get this room, you made some money, or you can just use it yourself and gamble. Maybe you will get some pretty nice double corrupt item. But previously, before the changes, you were not able to create these Chronicles of Atsuato, which you can sell, so you had to buy them on TFT Discord. Okay, next room is Shrine of Empowerment, which will upgrade the rooms that are next to this room. So it actually doesn't give you anything by itself, but let's say it is right next to the corruption room, so it will upgrade it. So it's very good depending on the position of it. Next one is Tempest room, which will give you just a random Tempest, so it's not that important. Poison, Trap, Restoration, Flame, Lightning, Hatchery, and Hatchery. All of these rooms are, I would say, not that great of a rooms. They don't really give you anything. They will just make your boss harder, and once you upgrade them to tier 3, there will be a chest with a random item with certain incursion mod depending on the type of the room. So this one would be like life based. This one would be, I believe, trap based. This one will be fire based, lightning, and so on. But these items are not really that great. They, don't get me wrong, the mods are pretty insane, but they will be blue items and random base, so most of the time they are actually not that great. But they will also have a chance to drop the certain unique item. So these are the items that I was talking about when it comes to upgrading through the where is it? This one, Apex of Ascension. So when you use one of these items inside of this room, Apex of Ascension, with certain vial, you will be able to upgrade it. So for example, this item, if you use it with Vial of Dominance, you will upgrade it into Architect Hands. So in my opinion, the best items to upgrade through these rooms are the jewels, which drop from the boss. So I'll talk about the boss in a second. So the last room is Royal Meeting Room, which can contain the Atsiri at level 3. So you can just kill it and get some Atsiri item, which is not that great, to be honest. Okay, so that's it when it comes to the rooms. So now let's talk about the boss. So here's the boss. And it is just looking like this. It is, to be honest, pretty easy to kill, but the most important things about the boss is the unique items that it can drop and the vials. So as you can see here, it can drop a lot of different vials that can upgrade the items. And the best ones are the ones that can upgrade the jewels. Tempered Spirit, Tempered Mind, and Tempered Flesh, because these jewels are usually worth like few exalts. When you get the base version, it's not really that expensive, probably like 10C. But if you upgrade it through Vial of Transcendence, it will be transformed to Transcendent Flesh. And let me now show you. Transcendent Flesh is worth around 3 exalts right now, so it's actually a really good jewel. There are also some of other good uniques, but most of them, their price depends on the meta. A lot of them are like not really that great, but if meta somehow, let's say, allows it, they can be very, very expensive. So always keep in mind when doing Incursion to check which uniques are actually expensive this league. So that's it when it comes to Incursion and Temple. Now let's talk about the ways to make currency through it. So the first one is in Lex Ajoris. Time and again will give you increased chance to get the Alpha mission, but also there is a time dilation which will make all of the Incursion monsters at least magic, which means that they will just drop a lot of loot. So if you are gonna hunt for the Alvas inside of this area, you are focusing on Incursions and just dropping as much as loot as possible just from the Incursion itself. You don't really care about the temples, you are just farming Incursions, because Incursions are actually, when you look at the master missions, and you just want to juice up your map as much as possible, Incursion will give you the most amount of monsters inside of your map. So the best way to use it is inside of this zone, so you have all of the monsters magic. So that's one of the way to make currency using this strategy, this league mechanic, just farming maps with Incursion in Lex Legoris just for some increased drops. The second way to make currency using Incursion, which is way better, is through Glenna Cairn. So in this zone you have resource allocation and contested development. So the wording on these might be a bit confusing, but basically what they both do is that when you're gonna kill the architect, the room that you chose will get the additional upgrade. So let's say you are here and you get the option, let's say currency room. So you kill the top architect, it will instantly get tier 2. So instead of tier 1 you will just get tier 2. And this mod, what it gives is killing non-resident have 50% chance to add. So that's actually what I was just talking about. So you have 50% chance that this room will actually be upgraded to tier 2, not 100%. But this mod, what it gives is killing the resident architects adds the upgrade tier to the surviving room. So what that means is, if you, for example, here you are in this room and you get the option to upgrade it to tier 3, or you have the option to change it into the, let's say, corruption room. So if you get the option to change to corruption room and you do it, you kill the bottom architect and you change it into this one, it will instantly be tier 2 because this room was tier 2. So thanks to this one and this one, you are actually upgrading the rooms just much faster. That's the only thing you need to remember about when you are upgrading room, you get them much faster. And in terms of Wardstone, there isn't really anything that great for the Temple and Incursion, so I would just focus on the Wardstone that gives you increased chance that you get the Alva mission. So when you are focusing on farming Incursion inside of this zone, you will be getting a lot of good temples with a lot of good rooms, so you can just focus on getting the corruption room and gem rooms. These two rooms are two of the most important ones. When you always get the option to get corruption or gem room, you should always try to go for it. Exception would be, let's say you have only like 3 incursions remaining, you know you will for sure not be able to get the tier 3 before you run out of the rooms, so at that point you should choose a different one, because you don't really get anything from the tier 1 or tier 2 corruption and gem room. So yeah, these two rooms are the best, and second two, I would say like tier 2 rooms are the currency, legion, maps, storage. That's pretty much it. And the other rooms are not really that important. Maybe also the unique upgrade room. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.